Good morning, everybody. Trevor Brown here with Kearney CrossFit and Life-Based Solutions. I am a 12-year CrossFit gym owner doing Fitness Fridays with you every Friday, and also head of business development for a nutrition software company. On these days, we typically talk fitness more than nutrition, but sometimes we'll sprinkle both those things in together. Today, we've got something really cool about shoulder prehab and rehab and how to prevent injuries, maybe even heal up if you had an injury in the past. If you guys have questions, feel free to drop a note in the comments or just reach out to me at trevor@lifebasedsolutions.com. You can even check out our website at lifebasedsolutions.com. So let's talk about something that we tend to get, I think maybe in the CrossFit world, maybe a bad rap for, and that's injuries, specifically shoulder injuries. I'm going to prequel this a little bit with keep in mind that every gym is unique and the quality of coaching varies at each individual location, right? There's thousands and thousands of gyms, CrossFit gyms or otherwise everywhere. And there are some incredible coaches, some of the best in the world. And there are also some that probably don't have any business being in the business. But that probably goes for any demographic or any business that we're talking about, whether it's teachers, nurses, doctors, lawyers, plumbers, electricians, doesn't matter. There's ones that are really good at what they do and probably some that you wouldn't let operate on you or work on your house, right? So as a lead into that, I feel like we do a very good job of preventing injuries, taking care of our members at our gym. We have people that are in their 80s that work out with our college athletes and our kids. And one of the things we're hyper aware of is how we warm up for workouts, how we take care of people. And a big part of that is kind of the order of operations for things. We warm up, kind of move and just get sweaty, like a general warm up first, which I think is really important. When it's super early in the morning, like 4:30 this morning when I was here at the gym, we've got to wake people up, right? So I think that helps get the blood flowing, wake you up. But more importantly, you've been laying around for the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, whatever it is. Your body's not really ready to be up and moving weight and exercising yet. So doing a general warm up really does make a big difference. And then we do a couple of things. We do some mobility work and stability work. The difference being once we're loose, we're warmed up, the body's primed for movement, primed for exercise. Mobility focuses on some general stretching. And this is dynamic in nature in which like we're always up and moving. For example, we're not going to hold a yoga pose for 2 minutes before we work out. We'll save that sort of static stretching for afterwards. So we do dynamic stuff. We're up and moving, almost like some form running, going for cobra, downward dogs, nothing where we're holding stretches though for a long period of time. So then we get into what we're talking about today, and this is the stability side of things. And I think this is something that gets overlooked so often when it comes to training and exercise. So honestly, it's not the fun stuff. It's not the sexy, cool stuff that people want to do. So they want to warm up, they want to go run, they want to jog, they want to get in the pool, they want to lift weights, they want to do their classes. They forget that stability stuff. And this is a big part of preventing injuries. Much easier to stay healthy when we do prehab as compared to rehab after we're injured, right? And so I'm going to give you one simple trick to prevent shoulder injuries to help you maybe even heal up from this. And we work with our local PT clinics here very closely. We got one of our coaches on staff is a PTA that graduated that degree. So it's really cool to be able to interact and pick up on some of this stuff over the years. With a single band, we can help you prevent shoulder injuries. So what this looks like is we want to keep a good posture, and we're going to take this band, arm straight out in front of us. Now, I look at this from the side, okay? So I'm locked in here. I want to make sure that my scaps are pulled back nice and tight. So I'm never slouching. I'm not doing this, right? So I want to make sure that my scaps are pulled tight, my abs are flexed, and now I'm going to move the band slow and controlled. You notice that at the front, I'm not letting my shoulders come forward. So they're always nice and tight back here. If I look at it from the front view, I'm pulling and squeezing my shoulder blades. Notice that there's constant tension on the band, right? So I'm not letting it come here and relax and going through. I'm moving it really fast. So it's a very slow, controlled range of motion. So hands out in front. I'm going to retract my scaps, keep some tension on here, right? Like this band is nice and tight. And then I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades. That's it. And I might do this for a set time period for 30 to 40 seconds. I might do this for 3 to 5 sets of 10, but doing this to start maybe a few days a week, certainly before you do any type of upper body pressing or pulling exercise, this would be some really good things. Make a note, this is not a tricep exercise, right? So we're not bringing the hands in and doing the triceps. This is all arms are straight. It's all my scaps and my lats doing all the work. So this singular thing is a great tool to prevent and help with with shoulder injuries. And keep in mind, whenever we work out, whenever we're doing things in the gym, I think so often we do so many things pressing, right? Bench press, overhead presses, whatever it might be. And we forget to pull. And this is why a lot of people develop shoulder injuries or imbalances is for every exercise you do where you push or press, you should do something where you're pulling. So you think a bench press is a horizontal press. We should do a row or some type of movement we're pulling towards us. You do an overhead press, that's a vertical press. You should do an overhead pull, like a pull-up. And there's lots of things like lat pull-down machines where you can scale pull-ups back to meet any level of fitness, right? So just remember a couple of things. Use a band, warm up the shoulders. Those scapular retractions are a great way to prevent injuries, and to help build shoulder strength. Every time you press, you want to pull both horizontally and vertically. All right. I hope that helps you guys today. Prevent injuries. So, working with our local PTs and orthopedic surgeons, they tell me that the number one way in which women especially injure their shoulders is not in any sort of gym setting, right? It's actually reaching behind you in the car to get a kid in a car seat or to reach for a purse or grab something behind you. That's where they see injuries. So I think, it makes sense because when we're in the gym, we're in a sports setting, we're braced, we know what's coming, we can prepare for that. If I'm going to do a bench press, I'm locked in nice and tight. But if I'm in a real big hurry and I turn around in my car and I go to grab something, especially if we have mobility issues, that does open us up for injuries. So keep that in mind, that most of these things just kind of happen on accident. We're not really ready for it. Doing some simple things like this band work can help prevent some injuries, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see everybody next week.